So today I want to give you a short explanation of some of the reasons why people blame sugar for weight gain. All over the world, people have this idea that if you eat sugar, carbohydrates, they will make you fat. And of course, it's pretty nonsensical because in general, if you look at the world's population, the people that eat the most amount of carbohydrate are usually the slimmest. Whereas as you increase the fat intake of the diet, people tend to be more fat. That's another story altogether, but today I wanted to just touch on something, kind of a realization that I've had lately. So this is the scenario. People eat their normal diet, typical standard diet, whatever it is. Typically it's fairly high in fat. They go about their day, they eat their natural diet, their normal diet. But then of course they start craving sugar. At the end of the meal, at night, whatever time it happens, people start craving things. They typically start craving something sweet. This is so common, we call it the sweet tooth, right? Everyone craves sugar all the time. Want some sugar, want something sweet, want some of that, some of that. Why are they craving sugar? Well, our bodies are designed to run on carbohydrates. We are frugivores by anatomy and nature. We're designed to seek out sweet fruits. Now, if your diet is mostly fat, or at least 30 to 40% so, you're not covering your carbohydrate needs. And what will happen? Well, your body will start craving sweets because you didn't cover your need for sugar. But the problem here is that because you've eaten fat, and also to a lesser degree starch, you have eaten foods that do not immediately satisfy your hunger. So your body has not yet recognized that it has eaten. It's like you have put food in your mouth and it's gone down into your stomach and into your system a little bit, but your body hasn't fully recognized how many calories it's already eaten because it wasn't sugar. So your body is still sending out signals to you to eat more. I'm hungry, I want something sweet, I want carbohydrates. And then what happens is, then you eat some sweets and now you've overeaten on total calories for the day. So people do this and then they decide, I'm gaining weight, this is not working for me, I need to lose weight. And of course, because of all the negative press about sugar, people decide that, I'm going to cut out the sweets, I'm going to stop eating the chocolate, I'm going to stop eating the cake, which, by the way, is mostly fat. But okay, I'm going to cut out the sweet stuff, I'm going to cut it out and see what happens. What happens is they lose weight. Because now they're not giving in to their sweet tooth. So naturally they just blame the sugar. See, I cut out sugar from my diet and now, I can manage my weight much better. And then they start, giving into their sweet tooth again, and again they start gaining weight. They're not gaining weight because they're eating sugar. Essentially, they're gaining weight because they're not eating sugar. They're eating all that other stuff, and then they eat the sugar that the body naturally craves. So the solution, very simple. Start eating enough sugar to begin with. Start covering your need for carbohydrates in the first place. So instead of eating non-foods, foods that we are not biologically designed to eat, and then your body starts craving actual food, fruit, really, that's what the need for sugar, the sweet tooth is really a craving for fruit. And then when you finally then give in to your sweet tooth, you end up eating too many calories. So instead of doing that, just start eating your appropriate diet. And strictly speaking, that diet is a diet of whole, fresh, raw, tropical fruits. We are tropical frugivore by anatomy. So if you decide to go all raw, all fruitarian, eat fruit-based meals, full meals of fruit, there's no craving for sugar. I never have any cravings for sugar, or anything else for that matter, really, as long as I'm covering my need for food. Fruit is human food. If I were to go around drinking oil all day or just eating something that doesn't immediately be recognized in my body as fuel, my body will keep screaming out for fuel. And I know this by experience. If I sit down and I eat some fruit that just isn't really sweet at all, it's not good, I find myself a couple of hours later just like craving something super sweet, and I start thinking about chocolate and ice cream and these things. And that's just because I didn't eat enough sugar in my previous meal. So I make sure that I always cover my need for sugar in my actual meal. If you don't want to go all out fruitarian, you could keep it low in fat and just, you know, eat lots of carbohydrate rich food like traditional Mexican diets have been like, and look at the people in the Andes eating potatoes, and looking at the you know, rural Chinese, traditional Chinese diet all about rice. Carbohydrate rich diets are traditionally known to be the healthiest. It's essentially what our civilization is built upon, starch-based diet. But of course, originally we are frugivores, and even eating starch will not actually satisfy you as well as sugars. You might still crave something sweet afterwards. So just stop blaming the sugar, essentially, that's what I'm saying. Stop blaming sugar for weight loss and realize that your need for sugar is there all the time. You need to eat sugar. That is your primary source of fuel as a biological animal. And if you don't do that, because you sit down and you eat a pizza with cheese and lots of stuff, meat on there, or you have some gravy and steak or whatever it is, it won't cover your carbohydrate needs as well as all the other nutrients that you need as a human being. You know, there's just an imbalanced picture here when you're not eating appropriate foods. If you don't do that, if you just sit down and eat that, you will crave sugar afterwards. And if you give in to your cravings, you will gain weight, not because you ate the extra sugar, but because you didn't eat real food to begin with. I eat more than half a kilo of sugar every day from fruit. And my weight is stable, my energy levels are stable, and I never crave anything. Because the food that I am eating satisfies me the way it should do. If you find yourself craving something, anything, after you just ate, shouldn't that tell you something? I mean, shouldn't that tell you that what you just ate wasn't really optimal, maybe? If you crave dessert right after you ate dinner, wouldn't that be a strange way of nature working like that? I think the reason is you just ate something, but it's not food. Your body doesn't recognize that's food, it's not appropriate fuel, it starts, you know, I want my sugar, I want my carbohydrate, just like it's supposed to get in the first place. So get on a real food diet, try out the fruit-based raw vegan diet for optimal satisfaction, health, weight management, nutrient maximization. And you can check out our free ebooklet on our website, sweetnaturalliving.com. All the seagulls are very happy about that book. We also offer health coaching via Skype if you're in need of some personal advice, assistance, whatever. And we have a free FAQ on our website, and of course a ton of videos coming up on health and all that stuff. We love doing this, and it's fun that you like watching it. So any questions you have, post them down below, and remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Eat your sugar, and that way you avoid sugar cravings. Pretty obvious. See you around.